Hi everyone, my name is Justin Odisho, and in this episode of Every Effect in After Effects Explained, we finally reached the last folder here, which is Utility. So as the name suggests, Utility is a lot more functional color space type of things rather than creative and distortion type of effects. Now, one thing to note, I'm actually working with some red footage here, which is shot a little bit more raw with more data involved. A lot of these effects in After Effects work differently based on the color and bit depth that you're working on. So if you ever go to your project window and you open up the project settings, you can see and change what color bit depth you're working in. So you can see I'm working in 32 bits here. However, some clips might not even have 32 bits depending on what you shot them on. The higher bits just allow you more precise viewing of what type of effect calculations are actually happening. And not every effect will always work with higher bit depths, but a lot of these only work with higher ones, such as the CC overbrights, for example. If I apply this onto the clip, this will show us which sections are overbright or overexposed almost. So right now, everything's exposed fine. Nothing's been clipped yet, so to speak. But if I was to go to my color correction section and add an exposure effect underneath that CC overbrights and start pushing up the exposure, you'll see the red color start to show that, hey, this is clipping. We're starting to lose information the brighter it gets. So it's just a way for you to see, if you can't tell with your eyes or monitor, what's getting clipped. Another one we have is apply Color Lut. So this isn't the only way to apply a LUT, but if you drag it onto a clip, here's some of my own LUTs which I have created, which are available on my website. But if I add this cross-processing look and load, these are .3dl or .cube files that it takes, and press open, it'll apply this Color Lut onto the clip. And we can see right there, it has the kind of bluish cross-processed look. Now, this isn't the only place you can do it. You can also do that in the Lumetri color effect. So if I add a Lumetri color effect, you can apply LUTs in the creative or basic section. And one benefit with these sections is you might even be able to increase the intensity or decrease the intensity of these LUTs. Along with that, a lot of these other ones are converters of different color profiles. So this one converts from log footage to linear or from linear to log, depending on what you shot it in. So again, you're probably just going to be needing one or the other. If you're already fixing the color correction with Lumetri color, then you might not need to convert it. But if you need to convert it and you're not using Lumetri color, then you might be able to use some of these tools. And this is kind of getting out of the category of just effects, because now we're talking about different color spaces and flat and log footage. But you get an idea visually. Again, we have color profile converter. This just allows you to go from one. So let's say you shot it in a certain color profile and you want to output it in another color profile. You can do that with this tool. And the two at the end here, HDR Compander. This allows you to either expand or compress the dynamic range. So you can compress or expand it to give more of that HDR look. And also you have the HDR highlight compression. So you see this will just allow you to compress highlights. So you see they get a little bit more gray. Again, whenever you're working with color spaces, you can always have the Lumetri Scopes open. And these will show you more information about your clip. And if you right click on that, you can see other types of scopes like a histogram. So you see with the HDR compression, we push all those highlights down. But when it's on, you see the difference. Lastly, tucked away, we've got this nicely occasionally useful one, which is grow bounds. So let's say I was working on a PNG like this. So it has these bounds on the image. And let's say I applied something like a wave warp on here. So I'll add a wave warp distortion. Now you see when I increase the wave warp, it still is kind of cut off by these bounds. So we get this weird clipping happening. And as I was saying earlier, you see this little caution symbol. The wave warp only supports 8 and 16 color channel. So it's giving us a little warning that things aren't exactly accurate in 32-bit colors. But that's a side note. But if I use the grow bounds effect on this clip, before I applied the wave warp. So remember, in the effects control panel, things are applied in the order that they're stacked in. So let me bring this grow bounds effect before the wave warp happened, and then I increase the pixels of the bounds. We see now we get the full wave happening without that compression or that boundary that we hit. So this only will help out on certain effects that render in certain ways. For example, the grow bounds effect is not really needed if we were to do something like apply a drop shadow. So if I apply a drop shadow, there's not really any need because the shadow kind of goes out of bounds anyway. So it's useful in certain cases where you see that clipping happening. So that's a brief explanation and demonstration of the utility effects and what's in there. And with that, we've covered every single effect in Adobe After Effects. So all of these folders, if you missed them, you can check out each episode in a playlist on my channel. I've already done every effect in Adobe Premiere Pro as well, if you want to check out that playlist on my channel. Subscribe to my channel here on YouTube to stay tuned for all my new videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you over in the next one.